Happy Memorial Day. I don't quite know how do we celebrate. And I know that human beings say it. I do understand that. Happy Memorial Day when it's about dead soldiers, the men who died on the battlefield. So I don't know how that is happy, but happy Memorial Day. Today is Memorial Day. And the purpose of this day is honoring and remembering the men and women who have died while serving in the U.S. military. That's according to CNN. And I know, the one thing I do know about, because I counsel with so many men who have been in the military at one time or another, and I talk to them about the pain that they're going through, and they believe that these are living ones, of course. And they believe that they have to live in misery for the rest of their lives because they have heard the so-called experts say that they had something called post-traumatic distress or something like that order. And the experts who are dumb as a doorknob with the degrees, they have lied to the military men by telling them that they are stuck and there's no way out of this misery. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And so a lot of men were stuck because they thought that they had believed a lie from the experts, so-called experts, the psychiatrists, counselors, and the so-called stupid experts. And they thought they were stuck with so-called post-traumatic stress disorder for the rest of their life. And they've been having a rough time with it, especially when they have families. Their families suffer from it as well. Meaning, well, the families suffer from their reactions. But once I counsel with them and they find out that it's just another overreaction to a situation, and they realize they can just drop the anger because they were already traumatized before they went into the military. They had already reacted to their mothers and sometimes their fathers. And so they were already traumatized, right? And so they went into the militaries, and then they were traumatized even more so by seeing awful things, dead bodies, or having to kill people, or watch people get killed or maimed, or arms and legs cut off. So they overreacted to those situations. And every overreaction it cause you to go deeper into hell, into your own mind and emotions. And your mind and emotions are pure hell. And so they suffer from that. And so you can overcome. There's nothing that you cannot overcome if you want to. But you got to not believe the lie. To the military men, don't let anyone tell you that you're stuck with post-traumatic stress disorder. And because they tell you this, they counsel with you, they lie to you, and then they give you medication. And now you're gone for the rest of your life. You drop the anger, you could be free. You stop overreacting to situations, no matter what they are, you could be free. Really, you really can. So take control. Don't believe the lie that you cannot overcome. You can overcome. One other quick thing I want to share with you is that there's a study that's out, and I don't know how true it is. It might be true because they have so many marijuana plants everywhere, or stores, or whatever you want to call them. But there's a study out from Fox that says More Americans smoke marijuana daily than drink alcohol, study claims. More Americans smoke marijuana daily than drink alcohol, study claim. If this is true, why did they bother to even try to stop people from drinking? Was there not enough money in selling alcohol? Because it's all about the money. It's all about the money, and it's all about control. They get you high, they can control you. And they want to keep you high. And if this is true, according to Fox, more Americans smoke marijuana daily than drink alcohol, study claim. If this is true, just imagine what's going to happen to businesses now. The employee is going to be going to work high. And what do you think going to happen with services as a result of being high? Or building equipments and things like that. They're going to be out of their mind. They don't know what they're doing. Now, a pot smoker will tell you he knows what he or she are doing, but they don't. They're high. They're unconscious. My country is gone. Using data from the National Survey on Drug Use and Health, the study argues that this is the first time in American history that daily marijuana consumers outnumber daily alcohol users. What a mess! It's getting worse and not better. I understand it, but I also think it's interesting is that the government can tell you that, okay, it's okay for you to smoke marijuana now daily. We're not going to have a law against you. You're not going to jail for it. It is normal. God made the marijuana, they say. And you go out and smoke it daily. And so I can't really blame the government for it, because as adults, you are responsible for your life. The government is not responsible for your life. As an adult, your parents are no longer responsible for your life. Only you. You decide if you want to live in hell or heaven. And so even though, according to this study, people are doing it daily now, and of course that will happen, but people are doing it daily now, I can't blame the government. I understand that the government is doing it because the government wants to control you, to make money, to get votes, to control you, right? But I can't blame the government. You're responsible for you. No one else is. You are your world. And you have decided that you want someone else to control your world, then that's on you. But as far as America is not coming back. And it is Memorial Day, and the soldiers say, well, we died for America. We gave our life. Do you know that we talked about this yesterday briefly, we kind of mentioned it in the fellowship yesterday, that in the good old days when men went to war or when they went to the military or the service, military service, they did it because they wanted to fight for the freedom of America. They wanted to do it. That was the first priority. But now men and so-called women in the military, they're in there because they want benefits. They're not in the military because they want freedom. They're not in the military because they want to protect the USA. They want to fight for the country, give their life for the country. They're in there because they want, and we play soundbites of these men and so-called women in the military saying that. They're in there for the benefits: free rent, free food, free education, free everything. And they'll tell you out loud that's why they're in the military. And they have taken out all of the men who have gone to the military to sacrifice their lives for us. They take them out and put in the ones that are there for benefits. May God have mercy on my country. It is gone. But it doesn't mean you have to live in fear. It doesn't mean you have to worry just because the physical country is gone as we know it. It's up to you. You can have peace right here on earth. Country and Western Tuesday. Bring back, oh, bring back my country to me. Bring back my country to me. What dog? Who let the dogs out? Amazing. Amazing. Country and Western Tuesday. Have you noticed, and I know a lot of people have not noticed because they're not paying attention. I do understand that. But some of you have noticed. Have you noticed that all of a sudden America is just not the same at all? It's just not the same at all. It's like all of a sudden, and it's been in the making for a long time, bringing it down to its knees. And I'm going to get to all of your calls here, all right? Bringing it down to its knees. It's like it's been in the making for years, even when I wasn't even aware of it, that what was happening. It's amazing to me that human nature, it's their nature, is evil enough, it's so evil, and it thirsts after power and wealth and recognition and things like that, to the point that human nature will destroy everything to get what it wants. And when it gets it, it's still not satisfied because that's not the answer, but it's amazing. So I'm amazed at that. I'm amazed at the fact that America is truly over as we know it or knew it. It's no longer home of the free and the brave. It is a socialist society and it's real messed up. Very, very messed up. Isn't that amazing that it's truly over? I didn't know it could be over, but it's over. And it's interesting. And it's happening in a way that a lot of people are not even aware that it is happening. They think that what is happening is for the good, but yet when you look around, there's nothing good coming from it. All this equity stuff and transgender stuff and trying to make the blacks equal to everybody's stuff and attack on white people stuff, and it's just nothing good is happening. I heard this story, I heard it in the news, but I believe I heard it on either the Hake Report or the American Anchor Baby, where at UCLA, here in Los Angeles, UCLA, because they are hiring or letting these quote unquote blacks into UCLA to be doctors and blah blah blah, that they don't know what they're doing. They have no clue. The doctor thing is screwed up now because they let all these unqualified blacks and I guess Latino, they let the blacks and others in without being qualified. It's just based on their color. And now they can't, the doctor thing is out the window. You can't find a good doctor. They don't even know how to find the liver in the body because they're unqualified. And they're supposed to have gotten rid of affirmative action at UCLA, I believe, but they still secretly do it according to a report. They still secretly let them in. And everything's happening like that with the airports now, airplanes and air traffic control. And they're letting the people in simply because of their color. And my country gone to hell in a handbasket. Not the best qualified person, but the color person. Isn't that amazing? It looked like the blacks wouldn't even want that. I'm sure some don't. Not all, but most do. But you would think they wouldn't want that. According to the anchor baby, the dean of admission at UCLA, she is some short-haired Hispanic woman who is deliberately keeping whites out. I don't know where he get that from, but that's from he reported on that yesterday. It was interesting. ABC and what? Vidar from ABC and Vidar. And now they're saying that even some of the so-called doctors that are in training there, the colored people, they're complaining if the doctors try to correct them. They're going off on the doctors for trying to correct them. This is not good, America. I saw a report over the weekend and this morning, I believe I saw it this morning, where there's this white girl that played basketball with the girls thing, and apparently she's good for a girl with the girl playing, and she's white. And we played this from how the female from The View was saying, oh, it's because she's pretty, it's because she's tall, and because she's white that she's getting all the attention, something like that. Well, apparently that's getting worse. The blacks are jealous that this girl can play basketball a little better than the rest of the girls, and so she's getting a lot of attention, not because she's white, but because she's better, and they're mad because they're saying, well, they don't treat the black player like that. Where would this all end? And how? A girl by the name of Caitlin Clark. When will it all end? And what will the end? Every day almost you hear a near plane crash or something with the planes, falling from the skies, almost hitting the ground, all kind of things. And have you noticed that the Republican Party and the Democratic Party are the same? That neither one have done anything to shut down the borders? They haven't done not one iota of a thing. That governor of Texas, he seemed to be trying to do something about it in Texas. But the Republican representatives, they haven't done nothing, zero. You better be trying to get Trump back in there. Because if you leave as is, it's going to only get worse. Because the Republican representatives are no different. They have the same mindset that the Democrat representatives have. And they're not going to do anything. It's about money and power. They don't care about us. They don't care about the voters. The Republican representatives do not care about the voters. if it wasn't for Donald Trump, the only thing the Republican representative would be doing is having these little meetings about Joe Biden, and they're holding a press conference pretending that that's real important to us. But nothing else, everything else they're doing with the Democrats. And I personally don't think they care about Joe Biden and his son's situation either, to be honest. Neither the Republican nor the Democrats have secured the border. My country's gone. It's something else now. It's something else now. This is from Forbes. Senator Debbie Stabenow, a Democrat from Michigan, slammed Republicans for voting against the Border Act. Watch this.
Well, I'm proud to be part of a caucus that actually likes to get things done. And we have shown over and over again that as Democrats, we know you have to work with Republicans. That's how you get things done. And that's how we have seen so many positive things happening for people.
See how she's lying? Just lying, outright lying to you. Don't care. Because she knows she's going to get it voted back in, so it's no problem. They haven't got anything done with or without the Republican. She's just outright lying. But it doesn't matter in today's America. They're going to get back in. They'll be voting in until they're 80, 90, or die. My country's gone. America is over. This bill that she's referring to is the same bill that had a provision to let 5,000 illegal aliens in a day. Isn't that amazing? They want to pass a bill that will allow 5,000 illegal aliens into our country a day. And that's almost 2 million per year. That's according to Immigration Council. If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. How are you as an individual? I know we did a report yesterday when they said that more people are smoking marijuana daily now than drinking. Marijuana is not going to be enough to save the pain or stop the pain from trying to endure the things to come in this country. It can't get better. It can only get worse. There's nothing about the country that can get better. Not one thing. Hopefully you wake up and vote in Donald Trump and maybe he can make like jobs back, bring them back and lower your taxes and all things like that. But you still got all this other stuff. How will you handle that in your state of fear? I can't believe this is happening to America. It's mind-blowing. Crime everywhere. No problem. No police. They'd rather not have police. In L.A., it's so bad on the buses and the little railroad things, train thing they call underground, whatever the type of system we got now. The crime is so bad, it reminds me of New York. And instead of putting police back out there, they're putting individual citizens out there with yellow jackets on, and so they can look at the crime happen, because that's all they're going to do. They can't stop it. And now those citizens look like, I may be wrong, they may have formed a union or trying to form, I may be wrong about that, but they're asking for more money. They want more money. They can't do anything about what they see happening out there on the buses and railroad or whatever, the train tracks. I don't know what you call it, the subway system. They can't do anything about it, but look at it happen, and then I guess report it to somebody. But they want more money now for doing nothing. Anything but put back the police, bring back the cops. May God have mercy on America. America is something else now. It's not America anymore. Amazing. Amazing. Bill, give me a quick answer to this. Do you believe that the earth is flat or round?
Let's see. The last time I was in space, I think it looked like a ball. But you know, the Bible teaches that it's a sphere. So the Bible teaches the circumference of the earth in the book of Isaiah. So the Bible has said it all along.
It's a spear?
It's a sphere. That's right. Upon
What's
the
that?
circle of the earth.
Oh, so that is round?
Circle, right? Circular. That's right.
Oh.
The Bible teaches it, and so I didn't even need to go to space. The Bible teaches it is spherical. That is, it's right.
And why do some people believe it's, scientists and others believe it's flat?
Well, because they don't believe the Bible, I guess.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Amazing. Once again, give out your information, Bill.
Sure, Jesse. Yeah. Thank you for that. Well, the podcast is Patriotic Pulpit. It's a .com, Patriotic Pulpit. It's on Spotify. It's also on Amazon Music app. It's on YouTube. And so some of the issues that I talk about here, I also talk about on the podcast. Then I have Bible studies with Bill Lockwood, which are, of course, from the Iowa Park Church of Christ. My sermons, the material, I'm going through the book of Romans right now, so you can find all that material there. I'll be talking about Calvinism this week, so people need to tune in to Bible studies with Bill Lockwood, and I'll talk about and cross-examine Calvinism, which is the basis of all denominationalism, and it needs to be exposed for what it is. So those are some of the places you can go.
Absolutely. Have you ever debated anyone, because there are some Christians who believe that the earth is flat too. Have you ever debated anyone about the earth being flat or round?
No.
Do you mind debating someone on it?
You know what? I don't mind. A matter of fact, you can't beg denominational preachers to defend their doctrine on a polemic platform. You cannot pay them to do it. As one old preacher told me, it's easier to knock down the Rocky Mountains with a cornstalk than to get a Baptist preacher to defend his doctrine on a polemic platform anymore. Yeah. You can't, they don't defend it. But I will say this, I will only debate issues that I think are worthwhile. And I don't believe that discussing whether it's round or flat really is a worthwhile issue to discuss.
That makes so much sense to me, Bill. I never wake up in the morning wondering is the earth flat or round.
And I will draw a sword, but only for those issues such as the existence of God. Baptism is for the remission of sins and necessary for salvation. One can fall from grace. Calvinism is false doctrine. The Catholic Church is not established by the Bible. The Roman Pope is not a vicar of Christ. The Roman Catholic Church is an apostasy from the New Testament Church and so forth. Those are kind of issues that I will discuss and debate. Baptism is by immersion, and it is for adults. But, those kinds of things, not sprinkling and pouring. Those are the issues that I think we can discuss. But those other issues, round or flat, the earth, no.
I totally agree and understand. Thank you, Bill. Amazing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you, Jesse.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Amazing. Bill Lockwood, folks. Check him out. Amazing. Thank you, Bill. There was a young man downtown Los Angeles hanging out downtown, doing whatever you're doing downtown Los Angeles, California. A guy by the name of Johnny Wachter. According to the report, he was shot dead during an L.A. car theft. L.A. car theft. We have pictures of him up there and some reports about it. And the police are searching for the killers. And when they find the killers, they're going to walk in, if they find them, they're going to walk in one door and right out the back. They ain't going to jail. Especially they got to be in white, too. Johnny White, they sure ain't going to jail if they should find them. But the police are so limited now, they ain't got time to be looking for a killer, especially if they're white. And the man is dead. They were trying to take off his Catalytic convertible from his car because the thieves can sell the iron or the steel of it or whatever it is, right? And according to a report, he happened to walk out there to the car, and 3 or 4 people, I believe 3 they say, I'm not sure, were surrounding his car. He thought the car was being towed or something. Like, no, I'm here. And they, according to a report, they shot him and they killed him. According to a report, 3 people at his car stealing from his car. And now Johnny, he was a soap opera actor, I believe, is now dead. And you voted to defund the police. You said yes, no police. Can you get in it? Is that insane or what? You said yes to some radical, Black life, American hating, God hating, family hating people. Worse than the KKK. And you said, okay, we'll get rid of the police. Think about that. I really want you to smoke on that one. You said yes to get rid of the police, and crime is everywhere. And you can't even protect yourself. As a matter of fact, if you try to protect yourself, you go to jail, not the criminal. Amazing. It's mind-blowing to me. But I understand evil now. Clear. And I'm sure there's more to understand about evil. When I say clear, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer. When you're angry, you can't see. I want you to know that. Not one human being, you, me, or anyone. When you have anger, which is hatred, which is separating you from the light, you're not of the light, you're of the darkness. And you don't know you're of the darkness. You cannot see. And you're thinking you can see, even though your life is miserable and nothing is working. And you think it's working, but it's not. But I'm just, I said mind-blowing, but I'm using mind-blowing because I need to communicate with you. I'm just blown away because you're blind and can't see. You're being controlled. You're being controlled inwardly first by evil, and you call it you. By spirits, and you call them you. You're possessed, and you call it you. You say, I'm miserable. You say, I'm lonely. I'm afraid. I'm suicidal. I need to be married. I need kids. I need this. And you call it you, saying that that's what you need. And that's not it at all, zero. You need a return to the Father. But this false identity, those false identities inside of you, they tell you that you need something else, and you think that's what it is. Crazy, huh? And those thoughts are not even yours, and you think they are. And then you believe those thoughts, and you do some of those things, and that doesn't work. And then you go back to the thoughts, give me some more ideas. And they say, oh, okay, you need a third wife. You've been married twice, or you need a third husband. You've been married twice. Oh, okay. And you go out to the bar, to the church, to somewhere looking for a husband or wife, and you find the same devil. And you wonder, how did I marry this one? I was just with the... I can't tell you the numbers during the counseling session and people I meet on the road, that how much they consult with the devil, and they end up with the same thing. I was counseling with a woman yesterday. Nice lady. Was with a good man, she said. I had a good man, she said. I had kids with the good man, but I was a bitch. I destroyed that marriage. I couldn't believe I acted that way. And then I met another guy, I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be better. This was going to be better, and he's worse. You're consulting with evil. When you believe thoughts, you are consulting with evil. Isn't that amazing? And you call him God or you. And your life is miserable. You think that it's you. There's no you. You, me, and nobody else are in control of anything, zero. And you got rid of the police. And now there's no protection for you. In the United States of America, a Christian country, a Judeo-Christian country, a country built on love. America was built on love. And now we have no police. There are no police. And then the one or two police we have, something happened, they're afraid to do anything about it. They show up. They're afraid to do anything about it because you're going to call them racist or police brutality, and they're going to lose their job. And so they just stand around, look at the crime. And crime is everywhere, and it's going to get worse. And just think about this, and then I give you somebody that I got to ask your calls. Think about this. They told the criminals that you could literally go into a store, a place of business, and steal up to $1,000, give or take $1,000, and you're fine, no problem. And the employees of the store just sit around and watch you going in there shopping, stealing and walking out. And there are no police. Because they say, well, I can't do anything about it. The law told them they can do it. They can steal my merchandise, my stuff, and get away with it. And the criminals do it. They smile while they're doing it. I was just at a market the other day, a week ago now, almost, and I'm like, do people still come in here and steal? Yeah, they do. I'm like, how do you guys feel about this? At first I was getting angry. I didn't like it, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I just accept it. And I can see the criminal coming. I know him now, they say. And you defunded the police. You agreed to it. Not everybody, of course, but you agreed to it. In the United States of America. And now look what we have. Carjacking, snatching, grabbing, women being raped on the streets. We showed you a report one day where a guy, I think it was in New York, I may be wrong, attacked a woman according to the report, dragged her behind the cars or right next to the car, and raped her right there on the street. And you defunded the police. You defunded the police. You got rid of bail bond, and you said let them out. Because Black Lives Matter and others said it was racist. Never mind they had done crimes, committed crimes. They said, oh, it's racist. You was like, oh, okay. And you defunded the police. And crime is out of control. And for right now, it is affecting white people more than anyone else. And the whites agreed, for the most part, to defund the police. Because they wanted to satisfy Black Lives Matter. They were literally licking Black Lives Matter boots. White churches did it, some. And now crime is out of control. According to the Daily Mail, Mississippi family cowards behind car as carjackers. Crowds. Cowards behind cars as carjackers open fire on them. This is in front of their house, I believe. They had to hide behind their car while carjackers opened fire on them. I want you to watch this, and I want you to think about the fact that you agree with Black Lives Matter to defund the police. Watch this from the Daily Mail.
In this video you're about to see, there's two suspects seen attacking a family with one goal in mind, and that's to get a car. Now, for some viewers, this may be disturbing. Caught on a Ring camera, watch as two suspects creep up, firing at a family as they were saying their goodbyes in the driveway of their West Jackson home.
I mean, he was outside on the, outside of the car. I'm so sorry. Anyways, and I threw my hands up. I'm like, hey. And he just pulled me down.
Heather Allen and her son were outside the car, but inside was her oldest son, daughter, and two grandchildren.
They kept hollering, like, give me the keys, get out. My daughter was like, my babies are in the car.
Then you can see one of the suspects pulling Allen's daughter out of the car.
He jumps in the driver's seat. I'm standing on the outside looking in.
Black people.
And he points a gun in my oldest boy's face.
Her son gets out, and that's when Allen braves it to grab her grandchildren from the back seat. The whole time, one of the suspects was still yelling for the keys. When they couldn't figure out how to take that car, Allen threw her keys on the ground. And you can see here, they soon after take off in Allen's car that was parked in the lawn.
White people trying to have a life. They went over to the suburbs so you can have the inner cities. And down in Mississippi, it's bad. A lot of blacks down in Mississippi. And look what the blacks are doing. You let them out of prison. You told them they don't even need a bail bond. And don't worry, ain't no police coming. You agreed with Black Lives Matter to defund the police. And Black Lives Matter, when I say Black Lives Matter, I'm referring to anyone who agreed with Black Lives Matter. You voted, you agreed to defund the police and let all the criminals, especially black ones, out of prison, out of jail, and look what you're getting. You agreed to this. Whether you did it in fear or not, you agreed to it. And in the United States of America, not only are we restricted with our Second Amendment, you're now restricted to even getting help with the police or from the police. You believed the lie. It was about racism. It was about police brutality, which were just slogans. That's all they were. They were lies. And the people yelling the slogans, they were about money and perceived power. And the people under them that were marching and carried on with it, they had no clue. They had no clue. They were just out there getting a thrill. The thrill was as valuable as money. And you agreed to defund the police. You call death life, and you call life death. And if you don't, as an individual, wake up and take control of your life, overcome this hell inside of you, so you can overcome it outside of you, inside of others, may God have mercy upon you. What I want to do real fast, I just want to finish up this whole thing about human nature and human beings are evil and the nature of human beings are evil. I don't even know why. I kind of know, I think, why at one time human beings thought human nature was good. I don't know why that was a thing at one time. And I am going to get to your call, but... And then I wanted to give you another example of how you're being controlled, not only from the hell within, from outside, inside of others, too. Evil people thrive on controlling others. They thrive on it. They wouldn't exist if they didn't have others to control. That's why they roam the earth and build a war against you in order to try to control you. Will you continue to let yourself to be controlled, or will you overcome the control inside of you so you can overcome it outside, inside of others? Will you? I mentioned how they want you fighting over. They want you fighting. They want you arguing over nothing real, nothing concrete. It's not real. And they have you fighting over race. Can you imagine you fight over race? You think one race is better than another one? Color. You think one color is better than another one. And some of you know that Joe Biden and the radical Democratic Party are desperate to try to maintain control so they can continue to lie and control the people. Keep you divided so they can conquer. And then, according to some of the reports, they are starting to lose control of some of the blacks, and they don't know what to do with that. They have not lost the blacks in 70 years or something. And now the blacks act like, some of them act like they want to wake up. Ain't no waking up. We're going to do whatever we can to keep you asleep, they say. So Biden is speaking at Morehouse College. He brings up George Floyd. Watch this.
You missed your high school graduation. You started college just as George Floyd was murdered. And there was a reckoning on race. What is democracy? If black men are being killed in the street, what is democracy? The trail of broken promises still leave black communities behind. You have to be 10 times better than anyone else to get a fair shot.
Why do you think Biden said that to the blacks at a graduation? Number one, it's not true. You don't have to be 10 times better than anyone to have a life. That's not true at all. And what does it have to do with George Floyd? Why do you think he said that to them? To brainwash and control them. Too many blacks are leaving the plantation of the Democratic Party. That's why he said it to you. What did that have to do with graduation? What did it have to do with going out and getting a job now that you finished college? Nothing, zero. There was nothing encouraging about that. There was no life in it. At a black graduation. Some people turned their back on Joe Biden at this event. But I think it was for a different reason. I think it was about the war in Israel. I may be wrong about that. But that had nothing to do with graduation. That was an attempt to continue to control. It was about that. It had nothing, it wasn't encouraging, it wasn't uniting the races, it was dividing them. And they let him speak there with that to the blacks. the City Journal is reporting that 2 years ago, Biden signed an executive order codifying into federal law aspect of the unenacted George Floyd Justice Police Act. That means nothing but another attempt to control you. How long will you allow yourself to be controlled? When will you be free? Christ came that you might have peace, perfect peace, right here on earth. Bible Thumper Thursday. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's important, too, that we have Bible Thumper Thursday. We take all calls, but it's important that we have Bible Thumper Thursday because the Bible thumpers have been so deceived by their preachers, their parents, and others about the Bible. And they're so stuck into the Bible that they can't find their way back to the Father. They can't find their way back to the Father. And they have all these false beliefs about the Father and about the Bible. Bible thumpers really believe that the Bible is the Word of God. They truly believe that the Bible is the Word of God. And then in believing that, they're blind to that intellectual knowledge that they can't see that their lives are no better. And so, and because they see that their lives are they're still in misery, and they're no better, their lives are still in hell. But what they do is they make up excuses for it. Well, we're human. We're not perfect. We're this, we're that. It's going to happen when you get to heaven. They have identified with being human. And they have accepted the lie that you might as well just suffer on earth as well. You might as well just suffer, they say. And they suffer just along with the people who don't, quote unquote, believe about God or in God. They have the same misery. Nothing changed at all. And they hold on to that too, because they're in the intellect, and the intellect is evil. And they even believe things about the Bible that's not even in the Bible. They believe they have a free will. They believe that they have to study the Bible to put it in their mind in order for it to, I guess, enter it. I don't know what they think with that. But they think study the Bible, somehow they're going to be proved worthy, whatever that means. It's just a mess, and I do understand it. They've been lied to by their parents, their preachers, their teachers. They have been lied to by the world. And once you're lied to, it's hard for most people. For most, but not all, but most. It's hard for them to overcome the lie. It really is. Because you believed into it. And you have not believed into the truth. You believed into the lie. And another thing I noticed about the Bible thumpers, and I don't know I've never met one Bible thumper that did not have hatred in their hearts. I have not met one Bible thumper in the last 33 years, 34, 35 years that did not have anger in their hearts. Their hearts are filled with hatred. But yet they say they are born again of God. And they know the Bible. They can quote the Bible until the cows come home. They can quote the Bible up and down the street, at work, everywhere. And yet their hearts are wicked. They have anger. They're judgmental. Their nature has not changed. And they don't even question that. What a sad way to live. And when they say that they have a free will, they believe they have a free will, but they won't will themselves to be free. If you got a free will yourself out of your hell. Will yourself never to be of fear again. And I'm not talking about fear of walking across the road or fear in the hood. I'm talking about fear within. Will yourself to have love even for your enemy. If you think you got a little will there. And they'll fight you on that too. They like nasty about it. Donald Trump is one white man that is in the way and preventing the enemies of America from a total takeover. From a total takeover to turn it into a socialist society. Just imagine if we can find at least 10 more white men who would stand in the way that Donald Trump, meaning with patience, endurance, just dealing with it, not whining about it, not afraid. America would be saved. But most people have fear they're not going to do it. And one other quick thing that I want to share with you about what's happening in my country, there is something called the insurrectionist. I don't know what that is. Insurrectionist in the Supreme Court. So apparently, Samuel Alito, the Supreme Court Justice, insurrection flag controversy is happening. And according to this report, a letter to Recuse from Senator Durbin and White House alleged conflict of interest concerning Trump's 2020 election. So the court have to make some decisions concerning the so-called insurrection and the whole Donald Trump thing. And the courts are going to be making decisions. The children of the lie want this judge, because he is a conservative judge, and they don't want anyone who is a conservative to be a part of it, because they want Trump out. They want him out. And they know that this judge is one of the top two most fair justice. And they don't want you to be fair. Why do you think they put that black woman on the court? U.S. Supreme Court. She's not qualified. She was just black. They don't want her to be fair. They want them to be up there to be unfair. If she had been a fair black female, she would not have even been on the court. They want Trump. They want him, and they want him now. When do they want him? Now. How do they want him? Now. They want him now. So they've written this letter and said, hey, we want this guy to recuse himself. But he said he's not going to do it. He gave them the finger. He gave them the finger right on. CNN is reporting that Supreme Court Justice Samuel Alito told lawmakers in a letter Wednesday that he will not recuse from cases, despite concerns about his controversial flag. So apparently, according to the story, the judge has a wife, and it doesn't sound like he's the head of his wife, but he has a wife. And according to the story, the wife, Judge Samuel Alito's wife, is a flag lover. She has all kind of flags around her house and things like that, according to the report. And she has one of those flags turned upside down. And because, according to the story, there are neighbors in the neighborhood don't like all those flags on the house, especially American flag. What the? And so she turned the flag upside down so that they like having this argument going on about the flag. And the judge said he can't tell his wife what to do. Yeah, but he can't tell his wife what to do. Apparently, he's not the head of his wife. But that's what the flag thing is all about. But the liberals, those who hate America, they don't care what the real deal is. They just want all conservative out. They want you out so they can rule the world. They want to rule the world. And I was wondering, and I had planned to talk to Hake about this, is there a time, and I think there has been, where conservatives were totally in control and the conservatives did not go along with the liberals because they know the liberals are evil? And is there a time when conservative Republicans were in control and they did not go along with it, no matter how the liberals got upset, they didn't go along with it? Has that ever happened in America? Because these right or Republicans, they go along with everything that the Democrats want. And I think because they agree with them. So Haight said he doesn't know. Have the conservative Republicans ever control and then go along with the liberal? Upside down flag is a sign of distress. Oh yeah, I remember the anchor baby telling me that this morning. A sign of distress. People fly it to show America is in distress. So maybe this man's wife is in distress. Samuel's wife is. What the? Here is MSNBC, the timeline on the flag controversy. Watch this.
2 weeks ago, the New York Times broke the story that the Alitos had an upside-down American flag, a symbol of the January 6th insurrection, flying over their home in the days after January 6th. Justice Alito responded by pointing the finger at his wife, Martha Ann, saying she flew the flag as part of a dispute with neighbors. Then the Times discovered yet another flag associated with the insurrection, flying at Justice Alito's vacation home. Alito did not immediately offer an explanation. Now today, Justice Alito has broken his silence on that second flag, once again pointing to his wife and declaring that he will not recuse himself from any January 6th related cases. In 2 letters to Democrats in Congress, Justice Alito writes, "My wife is fond of flying flags. I am not. A reasonable person who is not motivated by political or ideological considerations or a desire to affect the outcome of Supreme Court cases would conclude that this event does not meet the applicable standard for recusal."
Amazing. So I hope you stand your ground, Judge, because they want Trump out and they ain't going to stop. And plus, the Democrats don't care about the flag anyway. They burn the flag. They take down the American flag and put up foreign flags in our country. Ukraine flags and all. They don't care about the flag being upside down or whatever. They don't even love America. They don't respect the American flag, period. They burn it, they step on it, they walk on it. They don't care that that flag is upside down. What they care about is getting Trump out of there. They care about getting the great white hope out. And they'll yell and they'll scream and they'll carry on and they get violent and they do everything. I remember when the Black Lives Matter thing happened, when there was an insurrection about America, about Black Lives Matter, and some of the judges were threatened. A couple of the judges, at least, according to the report, were threatened. The Democrats didn't care about that at all. Zero. Not at all. They didn't care. The human heart is evil. It is, for all the Bible thumpers, Bible Thumper Thursday.
Anda de Diasa. Yes, Lord, have your way, have your way, have your way,
on his
have your
cell
way.
phone.
Who's that? Who's texting you? Who are you texting? Who are you texting?
Hallelujah.
Oh, God. Oh, that's my first time seeing that. The Anchor Baby put that together today. What a mess. Thank you, Anchor Baby. So my experts are here, and I want to hear their response to yesterday's guilty trial of the great white hope, Donald Trump. I guess everybody in the world know about it today. I want to play for those who might not be aware, the first soundbite from CNN. Donald Trump's found guilty of all 34 charges in hush money trial. Watch this from CNN.
The first former president in American history to be criminally convicted. New York City, where he built his fortune. His name embossed on countless buildings. The 12 New Yorkers on the jury finding Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in the Stormy Daniels hush money case. Prosecutors proving that Trump falsified checks, invoices, and business records to conceal a $130,000 payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels to keep the story from voters just days before the 2016 election. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, who brought the 34 charges against Trump, speaking out after the historic verdict.
The 12 everyday jurors vowed to make a decision based on the evidence and the law, and the evidence and the law alone. And while this defendant may be unlike any other in American history, we arrived at this trial and ultimately today at this verdict in the same manner as every other case that comes through the courtroom doors, by following the facts and the law and doing so without fear or favor.
Amazing. That was Alvin Bragg, I think his name is?
Bragg.
He's the so-called DA down there in Manhattan, I guess, New York, wherever that is. And so according to CNN, Donald Trump's defense lawyers says the former president intends to appeal his guilty verdict. And here are some pictures from the Manhattan Appeal Court. When I saw this, I'm like, what the? So here are pictures from the Manhattan Appeal Court. Those are the judges. Donald Trump, you might well go to jail now.
Hang it
up. You ain't got a chair with those black.
All black females.
Oh, God. All black female on the Manhattan Appeals Court.
One looks Catholic.
Yeah. I think those are ashes on her head.
Are you sure?
And I'm not being racist. Like, I'm not saying she needs lotion. I'm talking about the ashes for the Catholics and stuff.
You're racist.
No.
Black people don't need lotion.
You can't say that about me on YouTube on the air.
Oh, he's not racist. He means like ashy like this.
Like dry skin.
Yeah, dry skin. This is from New York Law Journal. Manhattan Appeal Court seat first all African-American panel.
Yeah, that picture of those women you just saw, they were history makers, as they say.
If ever we needed you, Lord, we need you now. Come, Lord, come by here, come now. You know I've said over and over and over again, woe unto the man or woman who take joy in another human being's pain. You have no idea what you're bringing upon yourself. Because what you do to others, you're doing to yourself anyway, but we're definitely not supposed to rejoice in another one's suffering. That's probably one of those deadly sins that Josh was talking about. So some people can't hide their excitement about the news. Watch this from MSNBC and CNN.
And here's what I discovered. Yes. That in the most serious FBR cases, a sentence of imprisonment is routinely imposed. This is the most serious falsifying business records case in the history of the state of New York.
You know, Donald Trump built a legend in the state of New York and in the city of New York. You know, his whole dream was to be respected in Manhattan, and it was in Manhattan where he was brought low. I think there's something interesting and poetic about that. But also there's a loneliness to Donald Trump. We were chatting about it in the break. He faced probably his greatest humiliation today without his family. I'm not sure if any of them were in the courthouse when he was found guilty. And as he's hearing, I'm thinking 34 counts, he's hearing them over and over, and they were so dramatic for us to hear. He heard those by himself. He might be the loneliest man in the world.
Amazing.
Just making
Oh, she feels bad for him. Right?
What?
Right.
She's caring for him, right?
Right.
And what I realize about it, this is evil, this is hell on earth, and this is human nature to treat one another in this manner. And these people love power. They've been in power so-called power for the last 3 years or so, almost 4. And they have caused nothing but trouble in America. And they've been getting, as you said, they've been getting away with it.
Yeah.
Open border, screwing up the economy, putting white men in prison, jail, and whatever they've been wanting to do, they've been doing it. Who want to give up that?
Right.
They want to hold on to that as long as possible.
Good point.
And they know that Donald Trump, when he gets in, if he gets in, that is over for them.
Yeah.
Their little power thing is out the window.
And they're holding on to it. And they're willing to go to the depths to keep it from happening.
But isn't it interesting how they're willing to kill another human being to get power for themselves?
Yeah.
That's human nature, though. Christ said that all human beings with anger, they have that spirit going on. Isn't that amazing, Anchor Baby?
Amazing.
You, Tom, like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
This is the final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country. We will rout the fake news media, and we will liberate America from these villains once and for all.
Amazing. Is that a new commercial, Nick? Yeah. That is so powerful.
Yes, it is a new commercial.
That's a new ad there. It's deep. What manner of man is this? The wind and sea obey him. Amazing. Let me just say, when I saw the verdict, I didn't know what was going to happen, what's going to happen, but I heard all this thing. It's in New York. The judge and the DA and everybody against Trump, and it was it should not have been in New York because they knew that they were not going to find fair jurors to represent him, and so I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. So when I heard the so-called 34 guilty charges, I was not surprised, but a little surprised. But not surprised, but a little surprised. And it's amazing to me that not one juror said, okay, I'm not agreeing with it. Not one. But I realized that's where our society is like now. We don't have there's no love in America at all. Zero love. I also realized that for white people, I see white people, but white people don't have a chance anymore in the court system. If you white, you automatically, you might well go on, when you leave home that day, you might well take your lunch with you because you're going to jail. And especially if you have a black juror and black judge, I don't know who was on. Does anyone know the race of the people on this trial, the jury?
I don't.
Oh, I think they can't know because they don't want nobody to be threatening them. So
I think they can tell what whether the gender, maybe the race later, because we found out about the race and gender of the OJ jurors
But that's because they started talking in the media, right?
Some of them did, yeah. But some of them did not.
They wanted to know, huh?
Yeah.
No, I'm just laughing. That's hilarious. That's true. They could not help themselves.
They wanted to write books. They want to be famous. But in America today, I don't care what, white people don't have a chance in the court. Look what they tried to do to Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you really reflect of lately, most white people who have gone to court have been found guilty.
It's weird because
Derek Chauvin.
Nothing's fair. Nothing is like, let's look at both sides. It's just biased.
It's like, it's payback time for white people, even though they have not done anything to deserve it at all, but it's all payback. And so, and when I saw those 4 females up there, and they talk about, what do they call that? Court of Appeal.
Court.
What?
The appeal court judges.
Appeal court, and they had those females up there.
So that's what Trump has to appeal to is them?
Maybe. We think.
Possible.
Maybe.
We're not sure.
The New York State Appeals Court is not much better. So
yeah,
it's like women and stuff too.
So we didn't know.
Get your commissary ready to send to Trump.
So we don't know what's going to happen to
Cancel those words and then
I cancel those words.
He'll be president of the jail. President of the prison, like LB said.
Trump may be trying to get his little trial down in Florida somewhere.
Right.
Because he doesn't have a chance in New York.
His own place, his own home.
But that's I realize this is evil. This is human nature. And human beings are evil. And exactly what's happening to Trump is happening in everybody. It's just that the situation is a little different, and I want to encourage you to start dealing with little situations so that you can be ready when the big ones come. And they will come. And especially if you're working on yourself, all right? So it's just evil. Human beings are evil. And we see evil in operation right here. If they were not evil, we would be just having a campaign going. Everybody waiting to see what happened in November. Best man will win and move on. But they tried to stop this man because they're evil.
In his own home, too.
Yeah.
He helped build it. And, all these things, and they destroy him in his own home.
Pure evil. Plato evil. It's interesting. I'm waiting to see. It's going to be interesting to see how the election goes now. It's so mind-blowing. So I want to encourage you, though, in closing about this whole thing. Stay away from anger. Stay away from anger. To you conservative, you never Trump, not never Trump, but America First people and everything, don't get angry. They want you to get angry. They want you to create violence. They want you to go to war, and they're going to lock you up and take away all your freedom. Stay away from the anger. Do not get angry. Calm down. It's the same warning I gave when they went over there to the Capitol and acted out. And look what happened, right? They want you to be, especially you white guys, they want you to be angry. Don't fall for it. This is all going to work out just fine. Do not get angry. Support Trump, donate, volunteer, get involved, but don't get angry. Stay away from the anger, right? They want you, anger will cause you to walk right into a trap. Do not get angry, conservative men and women.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace and we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win, because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble, but this was a rigged decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Yeah, that's the one. What manner of man is this? To hear Donald Trump speak, you would think that there would be one American citizen who does not agree with what he's saying. Our country's screwed up. Illegal aliens everywhere, crime everywhere, jobs gone, economy bad, everything going. It's expensive now. The races are more divided than any other time in the history of America. Anger is everywhere. This comes from this administration, Joe Biden administration. You would think everyone would agree with that and want to make it better. You would think that they would want to make it better. They would want to hear a man say, okay, look what a mess they have made in your country. They're giving our money to Ukraine and everywhere, all over, even our enemies. And they've done nothing for the home. Zero. But they deliberately screwed it up. You would think all America want to hear that, but no.